You'll see what they like. Super duper. So it's very thick, as you can see, with all the grapes on it and so on, even though last year we did trim it really well back, and we've trimmed the underside so that we can access the grapes from underneath. And then what we're hoping for is to end up with it looking something like that, with one small branch, one small stem sticking up. You can see there's one there standing up, and then we'll trim that to 2 buds above the vine, and then that'll bush out to give us cover in the summer. It's always best to do it in the rain, or when it's wet. Keeps the bees away. So we've got half a bucket of grapes here. Right, so then we're going to wash them by flooding up the bucket. And what that does is it drives all the spiders out. And then we've got this bucket that's got holes in. We transfer the washed ones across to the bucket with the holes in. Removing anything that we don't want. In this bin we've got grapes that we've put in, and in the bottom of that is the steriliser, which is the mixed citric acid and metabisulfate, and then we put the lid on, and that forms a sort of a gas, and we put the lid on, and then that gives it a gas. So lid on, and then we're going to leave that for, I don't know, probably half an hour or so. Right, now then, what we're just going to do, we're just going to rinse the grapes off by putting a bit of water in, because of the steriliser that's in there. So we're just putting a bit of water in, rinse them round a bit, and then we're going to tip the water out. Right, we're now going to just tip that water out of the bin, and hopefully the steriliser is going to go with it, well, best part of it. So really what we're saying is that there's a chance that there's wild yeast on the grapes, and we're just giving it every opportunity the wild yeast won't affect what we're going to do with the grapes when we've squeezed them. So there we go. So hopefully they're washed and there's no spiders in there. So if there's any creatures in there, they will come to the top, and it's just a case of have a look in case there's any in there and give them back to nature. Otherwise they're going to get drowned. Right, now this is the fun bit. What we've got is some metabisulfate, citric acid in some water, and Mick, our stomper, is now sterilising his feet, believe it or not. But if we make wine with it, we'll probably call it foot rot anyway. And now here's the fun bit. I can't believe we're doing this. I'm not sure your feet was sterilising your feet. I think perhaps your legs might have had to do, but you are very surprised how efficient it is. Do we need to get the fire brigade to get you out of there if you can't get out? And look how that's going down already. That's amazing. Should there not be some organ music playing in the distance, or in the background, squeeze box music? Right, we should have time to see how long this is taking, shouldn't we? But look how quick that is now already. It's already given us juice. Look at that. That's amazing. All we're doing is proving what the French discovered probably about 400 or 500 years ago, or maybe more. And all that expense I made in a wine press, which we've left in England. Well, look at that. That's 3 minutes later, The last few, cracking the last few is the difficult bit, because they won't float to the top. That might be as far as we're going to get with that, Mick, might not?
I think it might be.
Yeah. Now the next bit is the
nice and warm
bit.
your feet.
Yeah. Right, there we go. We're 6 minutes on, and we reckon that's as far as we can go with that. Mick's coming out. And it looks like someone's tried to saw your feet off. I reckon.
I got sunburn.
I reckon you should give us a bell, Mick. Well, and there it is.
Put it on your Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. Right, the next thing is to sieve it. So we've got the bucket. We've got that bucket with a couple of sticks across. We've sterilised that. We've got another bucket with holes in, and that's going on the top of there. And we're simply going to pour it from one to the other, or ladle it, or one way or the other.
Last of the summer wine, I'm sorry.
Well, this is the last of the summer wine, purely because this is the last of the summer wine. Well, it's actually the last of the summer grapefruit juice.
Sterilise his feet before he puts them in there, apparently. That's all.
Yeah, so now he's got sterile feet, it means his feet can't have babies. Oh dear, you've got to do it to believe it. It's quite an the side things over the side of the bucket. And there we go, it's homemade. Right, we won't bore you with that too much more of that. Next thing is that's going to be our fermentation container. And we've got another mix here of metabisulfate and citric acid in the bottle. And we put some of that in there, and we're going to wish that all around on every surface. There we go. Right, then we'll empty that out and then give it a little rinse with some boiled water, because we don't want too much metabisulfate getting into our wine. Right, so we've got sieve, we've got funnel. We need to sterilise everything again, so quickie, easy. So it was all once sterilised before when we finished using it last time, so that I'm hoping that should do the trick. I'll just hold that up a little bit so that the air can get round it. We're losing quite a bit. No, we're going good now. As I say, it's all homespun with whatever we could find. No, it looks good. It looks like it's going to be rosé. If we'd have wanted red wine, we'd have left it in the bin for 10 days. But as we're only here for a short break, we'll let that strain for a minute, and we won't make loads of film of us just pouring it. We'll everything is sterilised, even our hands we occasionally wash in metabisulfate mix, and then a bit of boiled water. Try it without me lifting it. That's right, that's going good. Yeah, that's okay. There we go. We've got about 5 gallons of that to do by the look of it. Right, there's the sum total of our amateur pressing. Then we've made up a wine press using the bucket with the holes in, stood on a block of oak that we sterilised, and then on top of the remainder of the grapes there's another couple of blocks of oak, and then the container on top of that. It's been raining most of the day and we haven't seen any fruit flies and just a couple of wasps, so hopefully we should end up with a sterile mix. I shall now add into there some pectin. Woohoo! Here we go. I've put some dried yeast in a jar with some sugar and a bit of little tiny bit of citric acid, and a little bit of malic acid. Hopefully I'm doing it right. And it's a misty, moisty morning here in France, and it's time to have a look and see how our homemade press has produced the last little bit of pressing. Right, let's remove the cover. Yeah, got something in there. There's our blocks of wood. So oh, and it looks like it's well compressed, and in the bottom of the bin there we've got probably a gallon to be transferred. There we go. There we go. Oh, I will now add to that Camden tablets crushed. Right, I've crushed 10 Camden tablets and I've mixed them with a little bit of warm water on there for now to stop any buggies getting in.